Okay, so we have discussed with you this example, and can you please remember from last lecture, when do you think marketing as a modern practice emerged? So like marketing as we know it now, as we use it now. So all those key marketing concepts such as 4Ps, positioning, branding, and so on. So when do we start counting this history of really modern applicable marketing discipline?
Since 1990s approximately.
Well, actually earlier, right? So when we talked about 1990s, we meant that really more companies focused on building relationships, right? On moving from transactional marketing to building long-term relationships. But in general, we can say that starting from the 1960s, 1970s, all those modern marketing concepts started to appear, and we know them from those books that started to be published already at that time. And today we're going to cover some approaches by one of the fathers of modern marketing, but we will move to that a little bit later. But indeed, you mentioned this date, 1990s, and we can say that only from that period, really, the importance of marketing for global brands became clear. So before the millennium, we can say that the role of marketers in big companies was not that significant. You see some information on this slide, so we can say that marketers became leading, so top managers among the C-suite of global brands only in the beginning of this 21st century. So who is the C-suite? So top. So top managers, right? So those top managers, CEOs, so meaning the positions that start with letter C. So CEOs, CFOs, so chief financial officers, chief information officers, CMOs, so chief marketing officers. So only since that period we see in the structure of big brands, top companies. So, for instance, those companies that enter different rankings, such as Fortune ranking or Forbes ranking. So, those top companies, in terms of their turnover and revenues. So, only since that period we see chief marketing officers, CMOs, being appointed. So, really, the importance of marketing for the prosperity, for the effectiveness of the companies became clear in that period. So that is only, well, 20 years ago, right? So the history of marketers being the core figures in companies is not that long. However, the problem was that the role of marketers was understood very narrowly, so very functionally, that they should have cared about certain activities, but they had limited access to real decision making within companies. And also there was and still continues to be a problem with marketing, with the turnover of top marketing managers. So you see the last point here. It is about a research that was done not long ago, actually. that showed that the average tenure, so the average contract of top marketers, of chief marketing officers in the US, for instance. So this was the sample, right, of that research. So the average contract lasted much shorter than of most other top managers within companies. So it was shorter than contracts of CEOs, for example, or CFOs. Why do you think it is so? Why marketers have, well, let's say, difficulties with ensuring their positions in top management of companies?
Maybe because nowadays marketing methods become well, redundant very quickly, and companies have to change their approach to marketing every 4 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Other ideas? Don't be shy. There is no right or wrong answer. No other ideas? Well, the speaker, the student who has just, I'm sorry, I do not see your name here when you answer. So you're certainly right. So marketing is changing so fast, right? It is changing much faster than some probably financial area, right? And the methods, approaches in marketing are very changing very fast. So the skills, again, are changing very fast. Also, some research shows that the top managers have little trust with their marketing officers because it is hard for them to give certain results. So to ensure the top management that the results will appear 100%. And there is a large degree of risk with many marketing initiatives. And also marketing activities are sometimes regarded as spendings, right, as expenditures, because you often have to spend large budgets on marketing activities, and the return on marketing investment is should be, of course, calculated, but is highly unpredictable. So we will talk a little bit more about those challenges and see some examples. So here is another confirmation of the fact that marketers have troubles with getting into the top management of companies. So also we see very few cases when marketers become the CEOs of companies, right? So the CEOs are appointed usually from some other corporate areas rather than marketing. And also we see very few chief marketing officers in the boards of directors of top companies in the world. So indeed, marketing profession is very challenging. Why? We can outline at least 3 challenges now I have prepared for you. So the first challenge indeed correlates with what the student has just mentioned, that the instruments and approaches in marketing are changing very drastically and very fast. So marketers have to adapt constantly, and probably you're familiar with this notion of lifelong learning. So we never stop with getting degree, right? With getting a university degree, for instance. And this is especially true with marketing, that you cannot stop learning, right? You always have to invest in your skills, in your competencies. Otherwise, your skills will get outdated. So you see some data from a research, from a qualitative research done by Forrester Research company that mainly focus on the importance of technology in marketing. So we see that many top managers in marketing find difficulties with finding the right staff with the right skills. And obviously, when we talk about the higher education, we try to update the courses and the course in marketing in order to adjust to the needs of the labor market, right? To try to give you those skills that are required. The second challenge is that sometimes we see we cannot predict the recipe for success. So we can expect, we know our target audience, we know what they're looking for. We, for example, look into what our competitors are doing. But indeed, we cannot predict the success of a certain marketing activity to a 100% degree. And also, when we see some outstanding cases of success, instant success, we saw an example of, for instance, Absolut Vodka last time. Marketing managers, they cannot explain what indeed affected this outstanding success, right? So we have methodologies, we have some tools, we have some instruments that can give us some result that we expect to reach, but to have something disrupting or game-changing, so something extraordinary, something out of the box, it's hard in marketing to predict this outstanding result. And the third challenge, and probably you have also come across various examples of different brands making huge failures in their marketing activities. Indeed, this is true. That in marketing, especially in communications, but also with product launches, we see a high rate of failures. And maybe those challenges are also the reasons for why we see such a high turnover in marketing profession, and why we see the results of research saying that top managers, so CEOs, do not really trust very much their marketing specialists, so chief marketing officers, for instance, or marketing directors. So now we will see a couple of examples that support the previous ideas regarding the challenges that marketers face. So you have asked me to give you some more illustrations, some mini cases, or some examples, right? So the first one is from a confectionery brand. I think you're familiar with it. And this confectionery brand, Dairy Milk, they I think they now belong to a multinational, Mondelez, and they have this brand of chocolate called Dairy Milk, which in some markets are responsible for a very large share of sales. For instance, in Britain, it's very popular. Well, in Russia, probably it's not so popular. So I will show you now an example of an ad that was made by marketers from the Cadbury company. And here is the title of the slide called Guerrilla Marketing. So probably you have heard of the notion guerrilla marketing, which is spelled differently. Guerrilla marketing, right? Guerrilla mentioning those warriors or those partisans. This is the word guerrilla spelled differently, G-U-E-R. And that means guerrilla marketing, that we use different tools that cost, yes, right, Ivan, thank you. So guerrilla marketing, meaning that we use cheap, affordable tools, sometimes they're not very official, to reach some quick results for our brands. And here we see the wordplay, because it corresponds with this ad that made history. So first I will show it to you and then ask your opinion about that. It's a video that lasts for about a minute, so let's watch that and let me know, please, that you hear the sound of the video. So I hope the sound was okay, right?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
the soundtrack was actually quite good.
Sorry. So what do you think about this ad? Taking into account that it advertises a chocolate bar.
Well, the last 5 seconds where they actually show the chocolate bar certainly have a point. The other, other things that they show, I'm not sure what they mean.
Mm-hmm.
But it was relatable.
It was what? Yeah.
Relatable.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's a song that everybody kind of does that when he listens to it. So you could relate to it.
You mean it resonates with you personally, right?
No, I mean it's just, for example, I saw this ad and I wanted to send a picture to a friend of mine that when I listen to this song, I look like a gorilla doing that. Like, so I suppose it was the same for many other people.
Mm-hmm. Okay, other impressions?
And I guess when you will be next time near the grocery shop, you'll just choose this chocolate bar due to the creativity of the ad you just watched. It's just something that really stays in your mind, and I think that's the main point of marketing.
I would like to add something. I think the marketing is a sort of subliminal marketing, like where they showed a very small, like for a very small amount of time, they showed the chocolate bar, and the overall structure of the ad was eye-catching. So if a person is watching a TV, he would look like what's happening in the ad, and normally you don't really focus that much on an ad because that's again the same thing most of the times, but this is different. So yeah, that's like catching.
Thank you. You could also experience, right, feel some emotions tied to this ad, right? My question to you is, what when you think about an ad of a typical ad of chocolate, how do you imagine it? Well, if you think about the ads of chocolates that you see on TV, what feelings do they project? What do they typically picture?
The happiness, like they show the mostly that there is like some sort of event, the Christmas or some birthday party, like some sort of event where family and friends are together, they're having a good time. And they also show the procedure how the chocolate is being made, like there are fresh coca beans and fresh milk. So I think, yep.
Good, thank you.
Or
Anything?
sometimes there is a picture of how this chocolate is being eaten to make you like trust that this is eatable product, and rarely the ads do not show the eating process of the chocolate. As I guess it's just something from life, like when you're sitting next to the person who is eating chocolate, you will probably want to eat that chocolate. And I guess that in them adds this similar connection.
Great. I see some answers also in the chat, right? Thank you. Yes, okay. Occasion is very important with the consumption of different products, right? And for marketers, occasion. So how you can say occasion or the setting. So how, when, and with whom you consume certain products, right? For instance, with family, with the beloved ones. When you have some holiday, right? This is all that we may understand with occasion. So how, with whom, in what typical situation we consume a certain product, and that is indeed very popular to depict in such products as confectionery, and also to depict what feelings the person consuming the product experiences, for instance, pleasure, indulgence, right, is also very typical. So here we see very different situation, right? We see some gorilla, right, an ape playing drums, and obviously this is a person dressed like gorilla, but well, this animal, gorilla, also experiences some feelings, right? But they are rather different from what typically we see in ads promoting confectioneries, promoting chocolate. So it's not really indulgence or pleasure in this similar understanding with chocolate eating. It's something else, right? Some excitement. Maybe that this gorilla is, I don't know, satisfied with the moment, with himself being in this moment, right? So this is very different from a typical ad. And always for marketers to take this drastic different step, there is some reasoning. And in this marketing course and also with the marketing plan project, we hope to teach you to start from the problem, start from the goal, and then try to find some solutions to solve this goal. So this brand, well, Cadbury in general and Dairy Milk in particular, they were experiencing some problems at that time. So different scandals relating to their products, for instance, Salmonella, you know, Salmonella, this bacteria, right? So Salmonella contamination scandal relating to their products. Financial difficulties, so the rising prices of cocoa beans. And then some product recalls related to this contamination scandal and other ethical issues like accusations of being racist. So that made them think that they need some new steps, some new fresh approach to get rid of the typical promotion that they previously had, and try something new. So we always start with some either problem or some goal, right? So sometimes we are in trouble and we need to change the situation, but sometimes we see an opportunity in the market, and we want to use this opportunity, and again we try to find some solution that will help us to reach this opportunity. So this was the case with Gorilla ad. And as you may probably guess, and you also had these feelings, so you wanted to, it is memorable, right? You probably would want to share this strange ad with your friends. So this ad was very successful. So in terms of various metrics, in terms of brand related metrics, and in terms of well, simply engagement with this ad, and that was a long time ago, as you may see on this slide, but was very successful on YouTube. And although you probably might think that 2 million is not that much, but if you think about brands, right? So not like influencers, but corporate brands. For brands, it's quite hard to reach very big audiences with their ads directly. It only happens when indeed the ads are outstanding. So 2 million views gained quite quickly is very good result. And also we see some financial results. So also this might be related with some other activities. So not only with this ad, but as the company has calculated, so the sales of dairy milk increased. And from the marketing professional point of view, as you remember, marketing is both so science and analytics and decision making, and on the other hand, creativity. So this ad, from the point of view of creativity and art, became a winning, an award-winning ad in the top advertising competition in Cannes Lions. So it gained support from the professional community as well. So this is an example of a big success of one particular ad. And we also mentioned with you that those big outstanding successes are hard to repeat, right? And well, Cadbury also tried to repeat the success of the Gorilla ad, and they made something well, similar or resembling, a couple of ads resembling this strange idea of Gorilla ad. For instance, they have airport trucks ad where there are airport trucks, so different vehicles also, let's say, dancing or drifting in the airport, but it didn't get this result. It was successful, but still this success of the Gorilla ad was not repeated. Another case, and also we will watch a short video. So BMW, right? As I have mentioned, we try to think first from the problem, from the opportunity, and then try to find the solution. So BMW indeed in many markets is considered to be a rather conservative brand, especially if we compare it with some competitor German brands like Audi, which is more appealing to younger audiences. So BMW has troubles with being appealing to younger generations. And well, many brands nowadays in various industries understand that they have to invest in attracting young audiences, also because younger people now become wealthier, right? They start to increase their spending power very early, rather than it was previously when, well, mainly people aged 40 and more gained this opportunity, for instance, to buy these kind of cars. Nowadays, companies understand that younger people, more and more younger people, can also afford such brands because they might have instant success in their businesses due to technologies and so on. So BMW wanted to create some, let's say, ad, so to communicate with the younger audiences. So what would you do to attract young audiences for BMW? So let's just imagine, for instance, you are in charge of BMW marketing, and you have some budget. You want to attract young audiences, to show that BMW is suitable and appealing to young audiences as well. What image would you project, and how would you do that?
Maybe create some supporting programs that will help a young audience to divide the cost of the car into multiple bills, if I could say that. Or yeah, that was the point.
So that relates to some pricing options, right? To make the car more affordable from younger period of time, right? But if we think about communications,
Well,
Mm-hmm.
we should imagine or
Yeah. Yes, just imagine what would you do, for instance, or let's think what do young people value in cars?
I guess that if I would be in the chief marketing officer's team, I would connect BMW with Spotify as an example, as young people always listen to music during the car rides, and I think that their connection will be a very interesting marketing program. Like when you listen in BMW to Spotify playlist, there will be some benefits or some special playlists, and the whole video ad will be connected between these.
Great. So this is usually done at a strategic level, right? So those kind of brand collaborations. So they are rarely done for a short campaign, but rather if brands decide to collaborate, they do that well, having in mind long-term perspective, and they might collaborate in different ways. So not only for one single occasion, not only for one single campaign, but maybe create some joint program or joint product, and also support it from the promotional point of view. Right, great. Any other ideas? My question to all of you. So, when you think about a car, what do you value? And if you contrast it with what is valued by older generations, for instance.
Probably younger people rather have a car that is easy to use in traffic and find parking too, while maybe older generation would rely much more on reliability of the car for longer trips and stuff like that.
Great.
Or they value more the appearance than the inside part of the car, like the odors, and they could create some extremely beautiful designs of cars.
Right. So the outer the appeal of the car, so some functional characteristics. Also, we can think about the status related appeal, right? Well, I had and BMW had another idea of what young generations would value. Well, obviously, the best means, again, the best channel to reach young audiences is social media. But BMW expected, well, I hope that it was based on extensive marketing research prior to launching this ad. So they expected that young audiences, especially probably mostly male audiences, they value speed, right? They value excitement from the possession of such a car that is very, let's say, powerful, right? So they created this this video representing several BMW cars making drifts, so drifting, showing the power of those vehicles, and that all resembled a flash mob. So I will also show you this short video, and then you may share with me your impressions of it. Okay. What do you think about it?
I think that brand had shown the romance of being young, powerful, spontaneous, and it shows that the center of attention when you ride BMW, when you drift, when you are at high speed, you attract people's eyes, and that's cool. I don't know, like that.
Right. Any other ideas? Impressions, I should say.
I think that was quite ineffective video ad, as it was too obvious that this is for youngsters and that is made not by youngsters. It's just the main stereotypes, and I think that if you want to involve young audience, you should be more deeper.
You mean like transmit some values, or because I see Yelizaveta also mentioned support some modern movements, right? So that is important for young people nowadays, right? That there are some values behind the brand.
Yeah, or even reflect these values using some influencers or stars, but not that stars that expected to be started by others, but to take maybe less popular people, but be more precisely for youngers.
Thank you very much. So the opinions, as I see, are quite different, and I also very much like your idea, saying that this ad was made for young people by not very young people. Well, you probably have heard about the collaboration with Cartier brand, right? So I'm involved in of our campus, of St. Petersburg campus of HEC. I'm involved in this collaboration, and in autumn we did a project with for Cartier, with my master's students. Well, the whole idea of collaboration of Cartier with our campus is that they really want to hear some fresh ideas, some out-of-the-box ideas of the students, because they have a lot of resources and different opportunities, for instance, to do research with some consultant agencies, with some strategists, but they want to collaborate with the university because they want to be close with the young generation. And they want unexpected insights from students to be heard, because they really want to attract young audiences in the near future. They feel that they have that most top brands are facing this need to attract young audiences. So, and they decided that the best start to do that is to be close to the young audiences and hear their opinion. I remember an example that we were presenting them the results of our research, and we were showing well, the top rising young figures in different areas that are related to St. Petersburg. So they were either born in St. Petersburg or working in St. Petersburg. And we used Forbes ranking, so of people aged under 30 that are promising. But what they said was that we know everything from Forbes, and we know who is doing this research for them, and they're not young people. But what we want is to hear your opinion. Who do you value? Who do you think is the most promising young figure in St. Petersburg in different areas now? So this is highly important, and it's good if you have felt that in the video, that probably it does not resonate with you. But anyhow, this video was successful. So at least how the company and those strategies that supported the calculations of the results that they received said that this video was a success. Probably it was well, back in 2014, so probably now we can say that we see something more that is needed to attract younger audiences, rather than simply projecting this message of speed, power, and so on. So this video was successful and it went viral. But as the member of this marketing team who created the ad for BMW said, it's hard to predict virality, right? So whether some ad, whether some creative will go viral is highly unpredictable. There are some recipes for that, right? But and some rules that you should follow when you create, for instance, a video and you hope it to go viral, but still it's highly unpredictable. Another case, so a case of PepsiCo. So we started with 2007, then 2014, now 2017, which is quite recent, I should say. So Pepsi aired an ad in the United States, starring a person called Kendall Jenner. So she's a model, a celebrity, So probably you are familiar with her. This ad, you may find a video, we're not going to watch it. You may also read this post, this article on the Washington Post, talking about that. So this ad was showing this star, so Kendall Jenner, posing in a shop, doing photo shooting, when there was some kind of civil rights movement happening in the street. So it was not clear what kind of movement that was, what the people in the street were, let's say, demonstrating for. You know, it was rather vague, but still there was some movement happening in the street. So then this ad showed Kendall Jenner joining the movement in happy spirit. And finally, those people from the crowd, they approached police. And Kendall Jenner comes to a policeman and gives him a can of Pepsi, and while everybody smiles in peace and you know, love, happiness for everybody. So that was a huge disaster for Pepsi, because at that time probably you are aware of that fact that there are some problems associated with some racial issues of black-skinned people being shot by policemen. There were a lot of cases, and there were demonstrations, and this so-called Black Lives Matter movement. This ad resembled highly the picture of Aisha Evans, who was also a protester, who also approached police officers, and she was arrested. And this picture went viral sometime before this ad was released, so was aired. The society found big resemblance between those pictures, and they accused Pepsi of making trivial such an important issue that was happening in the United States as this Black Lives Matter movement. And they accused them of, you know, using this highly important and highly sensitive issue for their commercial purposes. Well, there was a huge scandal related to that, and Pepsi had to withdraw the ad and you know, give a public apology to the society, and saying that really they missed the mark, right? So they did not understand the situation clearly. They did not understand how important that issue is, that it cannot be used in promotion, let's say. Although, of course, such values as, you know, peace and happiness are part of the philosophy of Pepsi. However, they should not have made light of those serious issues. Even though in the ad it was not clear that it was resembling Black Lives Matter movement, but it was the inappropriate time for such an ad to be shown. This was an example of not a big success, but of a huge failure made by the marketing team of Pepsi. And you probably, marketers have expected that it would be supported by the society, but the opposite happened. So it's not easy It's highly unpredictable, and it's not as straightforward as you may think. So sometimes it's better not to engage in those highly important social issues. And another example, which is very recent from last year, and it relates to the brand we all know, so Vkusvil. Probably you have also heard about this scandal. So they released let's say a post, an article depicting various families that are members or that represent their target audience. So there were different families, for instance, family with 3 children, so families having several children, a young couple, I think a mother with a child, and so on. So they tried to depict various families and show, transmit their recipes of family happiness. And probably you have heard that what they also did, that one of the families they described was a family consisting of a mom and 2 daughters, and one of the daughters also in the picture and in the article, we saw that one of the daughters, she also is engaged with a girl. So she has a girlfriend and they're engaged. And they wanted to show that they have various clients among their target audiences that have various views, various, they may have various religious views, sexual orientation, and so on. However, this article became a huge disaster for Vkusvil, and they had again to withdraw this publication. And at the same time, they also apologized for publishing such content, saying that, well, that was a mistake. And at the same time, we see quite a different brand here rather than Pepsi. We see Vkusvil, who tries to promote different values and tries to address different resonant topics, right? And many experts considered that they made a big mistake by saying that that was a mistake, because for the target audience of Vkusvil, that publication may not have been, an accusation of their feelings and so on. So they kind of said that, those clients who have such views, they are a mistake. So by withdrawing this publication. This was highly damaging for Vkusvil, not only because they posted it, but also because they didn't support their views to the end. And they, again, created an apology for that event. And that may be, destructive also for and not appealing to those audiences who are part of the target audience of Kurzweil, who share very very open views, right, and open values of the society and the diversity of people in the society. So also when we talk about young people, again, we see how values are important for young audiences. So by saying that those values of Kurzweil are a mistake, well, probably they have they have become not so appealing to a part of their audience. So, okay, so we have seen with you. You may also see this post on the website of Kurzweil. You will see this as I have it on the screen, that they have deleted this publication and that they are sorry for hurting the feelings of particular groups of people. So we have seen two examples with you of big success, such as with the Cadbury and BMW, and two examples of failures that brands have made. And obviously, all those brands have very experienced teams, but they missed the mark, and especially when they try to tackle some highly important societal issues, they need to be ready for a big diversity of opinions regarding this appeal in the society. So they should understand from start what such actions may bring for the brand, whether the positive side, the positive effects of their campaign would overweigh or not the negative sides. Okay, and now we pass on to another issue that I wanted to discuss with you today. So we move away from the examples of ads describing the failures and successes of different brands. And we're going to talk about marketing evolution further and use the approach suggested by the father of marketing, right? When we talk about marketing, the first author, the first marketer who comes to our mind should be Philip Kotler. Indeed, all the best-selling books are produced by him, and we will trace the changes in the marketing approaches with accordance to his approach and his books. But he is not the only author of this book. He also works with several co-authors, so Hermavan Kartajaya and Ivan Setiawan. You may also see their names in the slide. So again, I will show you a short video that would be a 4-minute video with Professor Philip Kotler describing this approach, so changing from marketing 1.0 to marketing 2.0 and marketing 3.0. So please listen attentively, and yeah, we will have some 5 minutes to discuss it.
Welcome to Marketing TV. We're very excited to bring you an interview with the man who's authored and co-authored more than 50 books on marketing in a career spanning half a century. We spoke to Professor Philip Kotler at the World Marketing and Sales Forum in Melbourne. So you talk a lot about this concept of Marketing 3.0. Can you tell us a little bit more about that and maybe give us some advice to marketers?
You know, Marketing 3.0 started with a simple idea. We looked back at the history of marketing and realized that most of the early product-oriented marketers, they were simply trying to make a sale of whatever they had and prove and get the sale against competitors by showing that their product was more reliable, it functioned better. It was a very rational appeal. So we named that stage 1.0 marketing. Then we realized that there were a lot of superior companies competing. So they all were offering something pretty much the same. So we said, you know, there's so many emotions involved in buying something. Get to appeal more emotionally to your customers and differentiate emotionally. You could use appeals like fear appeals, love appeals. There's a lot of emotions, and maybe an idea will come to you for differentiating yourself on an emotional basis. And that was called 2.0 marketing. 3.0 is rarer in that we noticed that there's a whole world of people who don't have much money, and a company might work and focus on maybe helping them through lower prices and so on, have some necessities of life. And that would be a company that shows compassion. Now, I'll show you how this works. Let's say a company is a global company, a multinational, and therefore they can't charge the same price for their in Africa, in a country there, that they charge in the United States or in Europe. So if they are practicing 3.0 marketing, they are adjusting their prices and even their formulations to bring down the cost, because they are compassionate and they want more people to be able to afford the product.
And who are some of the companies that are leading the way?
There's a number of companies we mentioned in the book that have been compassionate. I would say that Coca-Cola, no, except that there was a time when we were trying to urge them to put into their drink vitamins and minerals that would add health to the drinking of the product. And that would have been a compassionate gesture, kind of a 3.0 kind of thing. There are now some gum manufacturers who are thinking of, as long as people chew gum, it might have some additives and some things that are delivering health to them. Starbucks is a good example. They work very closely with the coffee growers, and they make sure that the coffee growers are not exploited. As a matter of fact, they even, in some of the villages, put up health clinics and recommend schooling and for the girls as well as the boys. And they express their caring in that way. Body Shop Company, started by Anita Roddick, was also compassionate. When you go in, she says, our skincare products are good at skincare, but they're not going to make you look beautiful. I'm not like the rest of the industry that lies to you and gives you dreams of something that won't happen. But I want to say that as a company, Body Shop cares about many causes. We want to help the homeless. We want to save the whales. And so here was a business that was absolutely doing social marketing as well as commercial marketing. They were wanting the world to be a better place to live in.
Why do you think CMOs are only lasting 2 or 3 years on average in their jobs?
Okay, so this is only the start of our talk. So this book that Philip Kotler launched, published in 2010, was about marketing 3.0. So at that point, he believed that it is important that companies turn to marketing 3.0. Have you caught from the video what are these different stages of marketing evolution? So what stages was he talking about?
The first stage was marketing as a key for sales.
Mm-hmm.
The second one was the marketing as a key of the competition between the several similar companies.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Probably emotions was one of the steps in the beginning.
Mm-hmm. Great. What else did you catch?
The last one was like honesty and being real.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Great.
Like, okay.
Yeah, continue. Mm-hmm. Well, let's talk a little bit more in detail about those stages in the marketing evolution according to Philip Kotler. Next time we will continue this talk because he did not finish with marketing 3.0. We see 2 more stages of the marketing evolution, and I will also upload you next time the sources that you may also read, so those from those books. So according to them, to the authors of this approach, and that also resonates with what we have been discussing about the history of marketing, is that the first stage, and again, it does not mean that the companies have stopped using this approach, is called product-centric marketing. So when the companies focus on selling their products, on addressing the needs, mainly the physical needs of consumers, and of satisfying those needs through the use of their products. And the value proposition, so the core value that the consumer can expect to receive from this product or service, we can also say, is functional, right? So the person has some problem and some need, some physical need, and this product helps to solve this need. And the interaction with consumers is mainly one-to-many transaction, meaning that, well, the company creates a message, creates a product and a message to promote it, and it transmits this message to the whole target market, and then the ultimate goal is to transact. The second stage, according to Philip Kotler and his co-authors, is customer-oriented marketing. And the third one is values-driven marketing, or he also calls it not the values-driven marketing, but also sometimes calls it human-centric marketing. So the second stage, marketing 2.0, so the so-called customer-oriented marketing, is different from the first stage in a way that we also see emotional value propositions. So it's not only focused on the functional features of the product, but it is also focused on the emotional needs of the consumers. And it is highly important for communications, right? We try not only to promote the product itself, how good it is, right? but also the emotional value of this product for the consumer. And in this way, we try to create a one-to-one relationship, right? Because when we try to appeal to the emotional side of the consumers, it's highly important to create this long-term relationship with the consumer. And finally, the values-driven marketing or human-centric marketing has or should have the objective for the companies to make the world a better place, right? So to address societal needs and societal problems. And the key word here for this stage of marketing is values, right? And I'm glad that today we also talked about young audiences valuing values, and they want to see that those values are transmitted in the brands. So here the value proposition of the brand should be functional, emotional, and spiritual, right? So should go one way deeper than only appealing to emotions. And the interaction, so the process of communication with consumers become collaborative, right? So many-to-many collaborations. So we brands, we also partner with other brands. We also collaborate with other producers and suppliers and so on. And it's important what values are shared by our suppliers, for instance. And we try to create collaboration with the target market and with the society in general. So those are the three stages of marketing evolution. Next time we are going to talk about the more recent stages, and we will talk more about the transition to the digital marketing as reflected by Philip Kotler and his co-authors. So I thank you for today's participation. Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yes.
I thank you for today's participation. I really value your answers in the chat and that you talk with me and discuss and share your impressions. So if you have any questions, you may ask me. If not, I wish you a good day. Alexandra Alexeyevna will send you a short task for the first seminar, which you will need to fulfill and present at the first seminar. She will do that today, I think.
Thank you a lot for the lecture.
Thank you.
Have a nice day.
Goodbye. Thank you.